Hey, you're on live on the Man Lounge. This is Frankie. Who am I talking to?
Yes, this is Brother Mike Willis out of Chicago.
Brother Mike Willis, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, and yourself?
Oh, man, I'm glad you can call in, man. I appreciate you calling in. You're giving us a call. You want to talk about your 6th annual Christmas in October event down in the Dominican Republic, right?
That's correct.
Brother Willis, man, tell the people what you do with the Dominican Travel Group. What are you guys about?
Well, let me explain to you. Around maybe 7-8 years ago, a lot of us have been traveling for over 20 years, right? But a lot of us have been frequently going to the Dominican Republic. And what I realized is that as I began to sit around so many brothers traveling throughout that island, I started realizing that we needed to come together to share experiences and talk about places to stay, places not to go to, good places to eat, how to save money, how to do a whole lot of things as we move around that island. So I said to myself, we need to start a group just for us brothers so we can start feeling comfortable about sharing experiences, talking about things that we do, and trying to save each other money. Because, you know, the whole travel game, in my opinion, is about planning a budget and trying to figure out all types of ways to save money.
Well, Mike, you 100%.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Mike, you're 100% on point with that because I've only been going for 7 years now. My first 3 years, I was basically with a guide. And this guy was from America. We went to college together, and he just so happened to move down there. So I got to learn about basically the tourist pricing versus the Dominican pricing. And it can save you thousands in travel.
It saves you so much money in travel that when you learn that when you travel, especially to the Dominican, but when you travel to most places, they have what they call a gringo price.
Correct.
Now, what I've learned is because now I've learned to hang out with the locals, and I pay attention, is that when I go, especially if I ever buy anything, which I seldom do, that the prices that they charge Americans is always 6 to 7 times higher.
Yep.
So I always say, give me the Dominican price. Or even if I don't say, give me the Dominican price, I know what I want to pay. I know that if they get a souvenir, most times their souvenir, if they pay, let's say 50 cents for it, they're trying to sell it for almost $10 or $5.
Yeah.
And so I know that most times that I'm only going to pay what I know that what I want to spend. That's it. And that's for everything that I do there now.
But that's
everything that I do there now, I'm only going to spend what I think I want to spend, nothing more.
Yeah, but that's a hustle all over the world because I experienced it on a lot of different islands in the Caribbean. It's not just the Dominican, so we don't want to give them a bad name. But at the same time,
let me just say this: the reason why I go to the Dominican Republic so much, which is probably like 6-7 times a year, is because it's good to go to an island where people look just like you. And they treat you like family. For if you ever venture outside and really meet some of the locals, you'll find out that their hospitality and their meaning of family is just like how it used to mean for so many of us here in the United States.
Yeah.
That they don't even have to know you well, and they treat you like you're their long-lost son, like you're their relatives, and it's something that makes you want to go back over and over again, especially that sense of family. I love it.
I know my experience in the barrio out there in Garabo, right outside of Santiago. We would go to the grocery store to make some sancocho, and that sancocho fed everybody on the block.
Yeah,
literally everybody on the block.
So I have a question for you. How do people get in touch with you if they're looking to plan a trip to the Dominican Republic?
Basically, you can email me. I can give you I'll leave my cell phone number. You can just text me, and I'll follow up. Or basically, the email works fine for me.
And how many in a group are you looking to group up? Can you make your own group, or you group them with other groups, or how does that work?
It works both ways. I can let you know when people are actually going down, or if you have your own group, I can set things up for you.
Okay.
Well, Mike, man, go ahead and give us the details on the rundown on the 6th annual Christmas in October. Let me know I know you guys got a
Okay,
bunch of
let me
days planned
explain
out.
to you about the Christmas in October, and I'm really excited about this too. Because see, what happened was I began to realize this as black men, and I have to just say I focus in on black men because I think that it's time for us as brothers to start stepping up. It's nothing against the sisters, but I think as black men, we need to start doing some things to start letting, especially black boys. We do it in the United States, but I've noticed that when I travel to the Dominican Republic, it's no different than a lot of places in the United States that I see a lot of the women doing everything, and I don't know where the father's at. So what I did, what I came up with around 4 or 5 years ago, Christmas in October, I realized that in that country that they're so poor in a lot of those areas that they're unable to really celebrate Christmas or any holidays, that they really don't have a chance to do a lot, but they still are very appreciative for what they have. So what I did was that I started getting a group of brothers. We started saving our money, and what we started doing was that we would go to the stores and we would bring bags and bags of toys, school supplies, and gifts, and then we would basically plan a day of fellowship in one of the little small towns where we would actually have a clown. We would set up the little playpen. We would have a program. We would sing. We would dance. And then we would give out toys and gifts for a lot of the children that reside in those little small towns. And you realize we're talking about areas where when it rains real heavy, a lot of those places, it rains in their house and they just sweep it out. We're talking about places that when they have to steal, when they have to go to the restroom, a lot of them still have to go outside the house. Yeah, those conditions still live. See, a lot of exist. See, a lot of us, when we travel, we stay on the resorts and we stay in the areas that's been built up. And those resorts really don't want you to go outside, and they really don't want you to see how the people that actually work for those resorts, that work 12, 13-hour days, that only make $250 a month, how they're living. Well, these resorts in a lot of places are making enormous amount of money, and the money and the salaries that they're paying their employees is embarrassing and insulting to me. So when I started realizing that if we can go and have fun, we have to go and have a party, what I call with a purpose. We got a party with a purpose. And now when we go and we travel to the Dominican or wherever we go, I always say we have to find an orphanage. We have to do something to make something to at least some children know that as black men, we're here in your country, not just to have fun, but we want to do something to put a smile on a young person's face.
Hey, and
that's what is Christmas in October coming. It's always during the time of Halloween. So around Halloween, we bring boxes and we bring gifts, and I set up when we have food, we have a DJ, we have a pastor comes in, and we have to always have fellowship. You know, there always have to be some type of faith-moving thing, anything that's involved with me, because to me, that's the key to everything. And that's what we do.
Hey, and right now you're listening to Power214.com, another episode of the World Famous Man Lounge with Franky and That Dude, and we're on the line with brother Mike Willis out of Chicago, talking to him about his 6th annual Christmas in October. We have our beautiful special guest today, Miss Marissa Shaw, in studio with us. Mike, give us your contact information, brother. Tell people how they can get a hold of you.
Okay, if you want to reach me, you can reach me at my cell phone number is area code 315-5216.
That's 312-315.
My email address is Michael Willis, T as in Tom, E as in elephant, @gmail.com.
Awesome.
That's Michael Willis, T as in Tom, E as in elephant, @gmail.com. And you can just send me an email or you can just send me a text. And that's the best way to reach me. And if you're on WhatsApp, an app called WhatsApp, it's best to reach me on the WhatsApp and just text me there. That's an app that I use primarily for my traveling.
Yeah, I appreciate you putting me in that group, man. Those brothers are pretty funny. Pretty funny,
man.
Yeah,
you know, sometimes, brother, like I said, as black men, man, we have to have our outlets where we can chat and talk to each other. Yeah. And I think that's what's been missing with us as men is that sometimes we find it hard to fellowship and really talk about some serious things as brothers, and we need that.
Well, man, like I told you in the group, man, I appreciate it. And the Man Lounge can be that outlet. Y'all can feel free to call in. I know we're all over the country. I know it's about 250 of us in that group right now. So anybody from that group is considered a member. Feel free to give us a call, 469-759-7797. Brother Mike, man, I appreciate you checking in. You're now a member. So anytime you got anything coming on, you make sure you give us a shout, and we'll make sure we get you on.
All right, my brother, and I just want to say go mob to you.
Go mob.